Hello and welcome to the Engineer Your Success, Leadership, and Life Harmony Like a Mother show. I'm your host, Kenya Romanovska, award-winning investigative journalist turned maternity leave and working motherhood strategist for STEM moms and STEAM moms. And I'm here to help you turn the motherhood penalty into your greatest advantage. I've been where you are when I had my first child, sleep deprived, to some extent anxious, feeling like I never had enough time in a day, feeling like I didn't have time for romance in my marriage, wondering about my career. And I felt like a victim of the motherhood penalty. But there was this moment where everything changed, where I decided that I wouldn't be a victim anymore, and where I decided to turn these circumstances into an undeniable advantage. And today I have three kids. My third child is just over 8 months old, and right now she's on a walk with her grandpa, who's an engineer. And so I will get into some of the strategies that I've been applying in the last years to really change how I view life and change how I view my role as a mother and as a professional. And that's changing the lives of my clients. But I want to tell you a couple of stories. So actually, before my father-in-law went for the second walk with my baby, I mean, I feel like it's such a blessing that I get to be both a professional right now and a mom to my sweet child, and that I have all this support from loving people in my life who are also contributing to taking care of her, right? So we were talking, and he's like, well, I kind of get what you do, but I don't really know exactly what you do. So I explained it to him, and I said, you play actually a big role in that. He's an engineer. And I said, you are supporting the next generation of engineers by allowing me to continue doing my work while I'm growing my family. You are enabling me to support all the women who are my clients and who have an improved quality of life as a result, right? Promotions during or after maternity leave, better marriages, less anxiety, or much better tools to manage it, great planning tools, right? And a more confident relationship with their parenting. And he has a direct contribution to that because he comes every week and takes my daughter for walks 2 days of the week. And we have a nice system, so I get to remain active professionally while having my third baby, right? And those systems and that confidence took years to build. It didn't happen overnight, although there are some changes that you can make very quickly in your life, in terms of what your mindset is as a working mom. So I used to measure my success, probably like many of you. I was a great student at school. I got really good grades. I received tons of praise for, my academic successes. And a lot of my identity was tied to how others perceived me and the successes that I have, and that I had in school. And I remember when I had my first child, I was pregnant for 3 months. I was offered a new position in my company back then, and I did the lean in thing. I was a bit concerned about what it would mean to jump into a new role as a mother, where I was finally established after moving to Alberta in my position in change management. And then I was formally invited into the communications department when I was pregnant. And I was afraid to make that leap, to step out of my comfort zone, a role that I knew and that I knew how to execute. And I finally felt comfortable. And after adjusting to a move to a new province, to the unknown. But I did the Sheryl Sandberg thing. I leaned in, I took the position. And after I came back from my first maternity leave, the amazing boss who had hired me had left the company, and I had a new boss. I had new colleagues, and essentially the wonderful back to work arrangement that I had negotiated went out the window pretty quickly, because operationally they weren't set up to support like the type of work I wanted to do. And I felt so angry and bitter. And I felt like a victim of that motherhood penalty. I thought, well, my company is supposed to be family friendly and inclusive. Why are we not having conversations? Why is this so one-sided? So that was old me measuring my success by what others thought was the good thing to do and how I'm supposed to run my career and lean into my career. And that, needless to say, that didn't work for very long. And I think many of you are in these circumstances where you want to have that successful career, when you want to be a good parent, but it's just the math doesn't add up. There's not enough time in a day to be everything you want to be, to do everything you want to do, right? So while I was going through all of this experience and during my first maternity leave, I started Bros and Babes. It was a hobby. I put together a curriculum focusing on career and family. And put it out into the world. And I planted the seed that I would like to do this work full time. And here I am a few years in, I am doing this work full time with a team supporting me and a wonderful relationships building and a growing list of wonderful, wonderful clients who continue this programming and this reflection and this life transformation together. And how did it all start? Well, in my profession as a journalist, I'm an expert. I was an expert at gathering and organizing information. And I would bring a lot of resources when I was starting out as a mom. Of course, I read a lot of books. I researched a lot of podcasts and a lot of articles, and I would organize these and bring them to other moms for us to reflect on together and then to take action. I didn't know I was actually doing a form of mindset coaching by then, to be honest. And I didn't know how I would turn this into my life profession today. But we did a lot of mindset work together. And one of the books that I brought to the table was Playing Big by Tara Moore. And she has a process on an inner mentor visualization, right? Where you go into the future and you meet your inner mentor, and then you befriend her and use her to guide you. It's a leadership tool. And I remember doing this exercise with my clients. So that was, oh gosh, over 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago, because my oldest son is close to 7. And I started Pros and Babes when he was still a little guy, right? So we're there, a bunch of moms sitting in a circle with their babies on their laps, and we're trying to do this long visualization. Of course, babies are tugging at their mom's hair, and it's not going too well. And I'm pretty embarrassed that my curriculum that day is not panning out the way I was hoping it would. And I said, all right, everyone, open your eyes. Let's just talk. Let's talk about what your kids will say about you in 25 years. And it was such a powerful conversation. I saw tears welling up. I saw women having a hard time imagining what it would be like to have their kids all grown up. I mean, all, these little babies on their laps, they're still adjusting to the roles as mothers. And I'm asking them, well, what's it going to look like in 25 years? And why did I choose that? I mean, it's kind of, many of our kids will likely be working by then, possibly have their own homes, maybe even their marriages, maybe their own children. But I thought it was a pretty good symbolic age to think about graduating into adult life. Even if it's a good age, we're still pretty early in that journey. And I would kind of mark it as the graduation into being graduating from your home, essentially, as an adult. And I asked them, well, what would you want your kids to say about you? And little did I know that this would become the foundation of my work. When we're looking at the intersection of career and family, many of us worry that we can't be a good professional and a good mom at the same time. When we're at work, many of you are thinking about your kids. And when you're at home, you're thinking about the work that's not finished. So by asking the question, what will your kids remember about you as a working mom? I realized that it was a perfect way to think about your role as a mother, as a professional. And it became the foundation of my flagship program, the Mom BA program, where we come together with my clients for 12 months and we dive really deep as a community in these questions. And we break the isolation of figuring work-life balance on your own and answering all of these questions at all the different milestones, whether you are seeking a promotion or facing discrimination or managing the mental load with your partner or doing financial planning. Doing it alone is much more difficult than doing it as part of a community and a structured process, right? So little did I know that this failed exercise in one of my earlier courses would become the foundation of my vision of success. And indeed, that's what we do when we start off our work together. We map out that 25-year vision of success and all the pillars of life. And we do it in a kind of streamlined, fast manner. It doesn't have to be this big, complicated document. No, I help women tap into their hearts and souls through a unique process that I crafted. And then we we print that vision, we put it on the wall, and it becomes guiding light for what your definition of success is. Because when I think about the impact I want to make in this world, and that wasn't clear to me necessarily even 5 years ago, is my hope by working with STEM professionals, people who design and build the world, right, especially engineers, is that we live in an infrastructure and in a society that was built by men and for men. And as I experienced motherhood, whether it was going to change my baby in the bathroom. You all know that many bathrooms don't have change tables for men's bathrooms, right? It's kind of the default is on the mom. Like the way parkings are designed, the way our infrastructure is designed, the way school schedules are designed. So much is just not done with moms who are also working moms with kids in mind. There's so much that we work to fit into, and including these definitions of success, what it means to be, let's say, like somebody who does desk time and somebody who puts in all of the hours. As mothers, as women, we need to redefine that. And so when I shifted to this personal vision of success that came from my heart, from my soul, it stopped being about fitting into the standards of society as it is today. It started being about my own definition of what really matters. And that, coupled with my values, I also have a values board and regular journaling. I have many tools, and scheduling my time as the CEO of my life was absolutely transformative. That's why today I live my life the way I do, with the schedule that I've designed, with the vacation that I've designed, with the rules that I've designed based on what I want to build in the world. So it used to be based on external definitions of success. And I think way too many people want to shape our definition of what is being a good mom and what is being a good professional. I say enough of that. Of course, you have to pay the bills. Of course, you have to fulfill, your professional obligations and your contractual obligations, but enough of basing your success on somebody else's vision. Let's build your vision of success, your definition of what really matters, your definition of how infrastructure would look. Trust your voice, trust your values, right? It's not just about the old boys club anymore. And I have boys. I'm married to a lovely man. I am not against men. I think that we can work with our partners better to redesign the world. So today I measure my vision of, measure my success by the standard of my life playbook. You can probably, the blur function is not that great here. So some of you who are watching the video will see I have it all documented here. And I will probably have to redo it soon because I've reached so many of the milestones in there that I want to create and implement, right? So if you're ready, just like me, to turn the motherhood penalty into your greatest advantage by turning something that was difficult into something that can be the start of a beautiful way forward, taking a place where you feel suffering and discomfort and transforming it into your greatest source of fuel, love, and fire for your family life and your career, let me know. You can message me on LinkedIn or on Messenger on Facebook. I'm Kenia Romanovska. Obviously, you can find us Pros and Babes. And I'm here to help you and support you. You can join one of our free workshops. You can join one of our paid programs. You can grab our motherhood penalty quiz on our website and figure out where it's affecting you the most, and then how to start flipping it into advantage. Because what you tell yourself about motherhood is what you're producing more of. If you tell yourself motherhood is hard, that's what you're going to get more of. If you decide you want it to be smoother and easier, then let's start building that reality for you. It starts with some awareness and then the desire of where you want to go. And that is my calling and my purpose, to do that and to support you and to help you get promotions and more money along the way. One thing we do in our program is we've partnered with wealth advisory firm that allows women to truly crush the limits of what they thought was possible in terms of wealth building, right? So thank you so much for those of you who come and spend some time, who read our emails, who participate in our workshops. It's a privilege and an honor to have some of your time weekly. Again, if this was useful for you, please share it with your network and your friends. And I am Kenia Romanovska, your host here at Engineer Your Success, Leadership and Life Harmony Like a Mother Show. See you next time.